Hello dear traders, welcome to this market overview video. It's time again, it's 16th of December 2024. On Wednesday we have the FOMC. Markets are a little bit flat, and towards year end the price action can sometimes slow down a little bit. First of all, you saw the sightings in the US and New Jersey. I personally believe that what's happening there is, I don't think these are spaceships. I think these are plasmonoids. Okay, Google that, it's super interesting. These are some kind of entities, those orbs which can be observed. And then I think the government set up some drones to investigate, and that's why those drone sightings are quoted. Recently, Trump said that he was informed what's going on, but that this is not disclosed yet to the public. I don't think this will have a massive impact on markets, but it's super interesting what happens to us as humanity in the next days and weeks. Anyways, back to markets. So here we see euro dollar on the day chart. I mean, the long-term lows have all been cleared. The squeeze against the longies seems to decrease, so longies seem to take the losses. We have the stop hunt pin, and then the sideways market. As I said, we have the rates on Wednesday, so the price is stuck between longies and shorties, okay, which is why it's going flat. But if more dumb money buyers leave and take the losses and more dumb money shorties come in, there can be a move towards the upper MTS on the 1 hour chart, okay, this one. So I expect markets to go flat, some house clean, especially with before the FOMC, and then maybe this MTS gets taken in the process. Pay attention, of course, to what the semi-smart money does. You see, semi-smart money shorties led to this down move, okay, yesterday, for example. Okay, so now the order gap zone has been filled, the MTS has been filled, and we have this range mode in the price because the market is stuck between the longies on the upside and the shorties on the lower side. Okay, so that could be a theme, that if longies leave, we have an up move, and this will of course also affect the other markets. Yeah. For example, here we see Aussie going flat, but if you look at the day chart, the big lows have been visited, and right now it seems that longies are finally leaving, which is why this pullback is coming, and the MTS seems a little bit far at the moment. So as long as new massive dumb money buyers come in, and maybe some more semi-smart longies come in, there can be a pullback, for example. Yeah. So that remains to be seen. Bitcoin, as expected, long-term bullish, coming up nicely. Went for the 100k level. There can be pullbacks, but my long-term bullish outlook remains for the time being. Okay, all right, let's continue. So pound dollar filled those option strike targets nicely on the 13-minute chart. Beautiful move. Also shorties came in and longies left, which is why it came up as expected. I was long there. Beautiful. Okay, also look at that, semi-smart longies came in, so therefore the market went up. Okay, now doing a pullback with the order gap zone. It has MTS on both sides, but if more shorties come in, dumb money shorties I mean, then it can eventually also take the upper MTS. It may take a little bit. We see on the 4-hour chart there was some forward reversal energy. Okay, typical dumb money switch, even though not super pronounced, and then the up move. Very, very nice. Okay, let's continue. Euro pound, so came down as expected, filled beautifully this option strike target. Okay, this is what we want to see. If you caught that trade, well done. And now it's a bit like, we have MTS on both sides, so it's a bit neutral now and also stuck between longies and shorties. So now the bias decreased again. Kiwi, similar as I've said before regarding Aussie. Okay, we have the upper MTS here, also lower one. So Kiwi can go flat, but eventually can try to get the upper MTS, especially if more longies leave the markets and more shorties come in. Okay, So that's a theme one can watch, because on the higher time frame, look, the lows have been cleared. The old low here from October 23 has been even cleared. So yeah, we have longies on the upper side of the price for sure, they're on the way, but shorties are a bit into profit and longies seem to slightly decrease. So let's see, there can always be attacks of the low, but then, you know, if I said the market structure switches, then there can be finally a pullback and some dollar weakness after this crazy moves, okay, of the last weeks. And the same is true for dollar cut in reverse, even though here we still have more down money sellers in the way, okay, so it's going to be a bumpy ride, remember. Like even if dollar cut tries to come down, there are sell positions of the down money in the way, so they're going to do harsh pullbacks. We call this bumpy rides, okay, so we also have some Canadian news, so pay attention to this. There can always be stop-ons to the upside again, okay? And maybe that leads us to dollar yen. So dollar yen can do a pullback down and maybe fill some of those option strike targets. Because look, on the higher time frames we see it came up a lot. Now there's some old longies, so it can do a pullback maybe and stay between those longies and shorties. And then depending on whether more the money shorties come in, they can try to reach an LTS, but it seems less likely now, especially if euro dollar tries some kind of pullback up. Dollar yen could be sent down towards the 200-day moving average. Okay, so right now that is a possible scenario, so pay attention to the down money flow in the next days. Okay, euro yen pretty neutral there now. It has the upper MTS and lower MTS. It could be that euro yen wants to attack the high and then does some normalization move, but it's not interesting at that point, okay? Like it maybe wants to touch the moving average on the day chart against those shorties and then normalize, something like that. Pound yen, that's more interesting. Let's look at it. Pound yen, here we go. It took the upper MTS, alright, we had some smart money longies there, but now it looks like it could finally normalize and, you know, starts to look a little bit high. I mean, they have this kink in the shorties, so some shorties try to sell, but if it comes higher, it could develop into some short setup, okay, especially if more longies come in, so we keep an eye on this one. It's interesting at the moment. Okay. These are the main pairs. Euro Aussie can take this little MTS here, but it's pretty neutral. The same goes for Pound Aussie. Yeah. Wow, we're here. Pound Aussie took the upper MTS. Now it's pretty neutral. Okay, so these are basically the main pairs. Gold, very interesting, went down and took this MTS as expected against the down money longies. It can do a breather up eventually, but there are many longies in the way, so it's not a great bias. And silver looks rather neutral there. It can go for the low once more. There are enough longies in the market, and they can visit those lower short positions here, so they can come off a little bit, for example. So I wouldn't try to buy silver looking at this market structure. They can come off more. So in a nutshell, that's that. So here you see how I approach the markets. Remember, we're coming into a bit of a low volatility period with the Christmas period in the next 2 weeks, of course. Still, there will be setups like always. Pay attention to the semi-smart money. It's an incredible indicator. It's very beautiful. Like look at this, for example, euro pound. Semi-smart long is coming in here, okay. Shorties are in loss, so they do an up move towards the MTS. That was a beautiful trade I did. A long trade towards the upper MTS of the dominant shorties while you're on the side of the semi-smart longies. Beautiful setup, okay, worth a lot. That was a great move. And then guess what? The semi-smart money takes profit and goes on the short side and it comes off again. This is incredible, okay? Pay attention to that. It will do you well, as I've shown recently. Okay, so this is incredible. This is the best version of the tool we ever had. It's super smart, as you can see. It's just beautiful, okay? So happy trading. I know some of you are doing really well. I wish you a great Christmas period, and already a happy new year, but well, we're gonna see us before. Lots of love. So happy trading. Goodbye.